Hello friends, here we will see summary of Elegy written in Country Churchyard written by Thomas Gray. Elegy written in a Country Churchyard is a British writer Thomas Gray's most famous poem, first published in 1751. The poem's speaker speaks here about death while standing in a rural graveyard in the evening. Taking stock of the graves, he reflects that death comes for everyone in the end and notes that the tombs of the rich won't bring their occupants back from the dead. He also opinions the common folk buried in the churchyard by imagining the lives they might have lived had been born into their circumstances. Here he says discrimination between rich and poor, even in the burial. The main idea of Elegy written in a country churchyard is a simple one. Everybody dies. Sitting in a graveyard as the sun begins to set, in the sense the time of evening, the speaker mulls or opinions over the fact that death is universal. Death comes for everybody. He thinks about the many kinds of lives that death cuts short, emphasizing the fact no amount of wealth, power, or fame can save people from death. It is a universal fact death comes for everyone, the rich, the poor, and the speaker himself. Since an elegy is a poem written to lament someone's death, it is a poem, the sad poem on somebody's death. The poem's title signals its themes right away. This elegy, it becomes clear soon enough, is for someone who is buried in the country churchyard, the graveyard attached to a rural church. It's also for everyone who will be buried there, which includes the speaker himself. In fact, the poem might also be for all mortals for whom the poem reminds readers death is inevitable, in the sense even writer and reader both also dies one day. Standing in the graveyard as the light fades, the speaker sees death everywhere, as if it suddenly involves the world itself. The speaker is further struck by the fact that people die whether they are rich or poor. The graves in this churchyard might look like moldy mounds of dirt, but the speaker insists it's not like a rich person's more beautiful grave would somehow call them back from the dead. The speaker reflects on the elaborate burials of the rich and powerful in order to hammer home the fact that death is universal. Some people may have trophies on their tombs, urn or dust that represent all their accomplishments. The speaker even describes his own death, imagining how he will be buried beneath an aged thorn under an old tree. The poem, in fact, ends with the speaker's imagined epitaph from the gloomy homes at the beginning of the speaker's demise at its end. Then, the poem is saturated with death, universal, inescapable, and final. The speaker insists that death is universal and final, that it comes for everyone and cannot be undone. At the same time, however, the poem speaks to the value of honoring, remembering, or even just imagining the lives of the dead. Doing so, the poem suggests, is a meaningful fact of memorial for those whom the rest of the world and history itself has forgotten. What's more, the poem implies that such acts of commemorations may be a way to help people confront their own morality. Memorizing the death thus also helps the living. The people buried in the churchyard don't have elaborate memorials. The speaker describes their graves as mouldering heap, mounds of dirt without the decorations of rich people's marble tomb. Rich people make their tomb by marble stone, but the poor cannot do all those. This is all about English summary of Elegy written in Country Churchyard, written by Thomas Gray. If you like this video, let me know in the comment box. Also, like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.